study. Today I'll be teaching you Springboard. Please take out your Springboard workbook 2. Alright, very important. You're going to use that. And also your pupil book, the green one. Great. So let's start our lesson. So today our lesson is about pupil book, page number 28. Let's see what is the topic for today. So page number 28 in front of you is, alright, it says that what happened to you. This is the topic, right? In front of you. Let me show you the real picture. It looks like this, right? Good. It looks like this. This is a page. So what you have to do here, part 1, listen, read, and match. Alright, number 1 has been done for you, right? Number 1, it says, last summer, I traveled to Spain on holiday. I played on the beach with my friend Manuel all day. So that has been done for you, right? That is B. Now it's your turn to do 2, 3, and 4. Okay, you listen and then we are going to read and then you're going to match. So let's get started.
Unit 4, Lesson 3. What happened to you? Exercise 1, page 28. Listen, read, and match.
Last summer, I traveled to Spain on holiday. I played on the beach with my friend Manuel all day. One day we collected shells. There was an old bottle next to a big shell. We opened the bottle and there was a map in it. We looked at the map. There was a red cross on it. We walked there and guess what? There was a big pirate ship. It was a cafe. The waiters looked like pirates. We stayed there for 2 hours. It was great.
Alright, I'm going to give you some time to tidy up your answers. Alright, let's get started. So which picture goes for number 2 actually? Number 2, let's read. One day we collected shells. There was an old bottle next to a big shell. We opened the bottle and there was a map in it. That should be D. Good job. Correct line is D. 3, we looked at the map. There was a red cross in it. Sorry, there was a red cross on it. That should be A. Good. 4, let's read. We walked there and guess what? There was a big pirate ship. It was a cafe. The waiters looked like pirates. We stayed there for 2 hours. It was great. Answer is C. Done checking your answers? Let's have a look on part 2. Read again and answer. So here you have to do some writing for me. Number 1 in front of you. Read. Where did Wendy travel last summer? All you have to do, you have to read the questions here and then you have to answer them by looking at part 1. So, where did she travel last summer? The answer is she traveled to Spain last summer, right? That is paper, let's say paper number 1 tells us that because it says that last summer I traveled to Spain on holiday, right? So you should answer the question here. She traveled to Spain last summer. So just like that, do it on your own. 2 and 3. Okay? 2 and 3. I gave it to you. Do it by yourself. Number 2, the question is, what was there in the bottle? What was there in the bottle? A map. Yes. How did you know? Which paper tells you that? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Number 2, right? It says that we opened the bottle and there was a map in it. So you can say there was a map in the bottle. Please answer all the questions. Alright, please answer all the questions regarding here. It says that what was there in the bottle, right? So you have to answer like that. There was a map in the bottle. Number 3, how long did Wendy and Manuel stay at the Pirate Cafe? Which picture tells you? Let's say which paper tells you? Number 4, right? It said that we stayed there for 2 hours. So the answer is they stayed at the Pirate Cafe For 2 hours. So that is 1, 2, 3. All right, they stayed at the Parrot Cafe for 2 hours. Part 3, write the sentences. All right. For example, Cindy, all right, they've given you the words, right? Cindy visit her cousin yesterday. Remember, when we use yesterday, we talk about things in the past. So we have to change the verb. We have to add ed, just like the example. All right, Cindy visited her cousin yesterday. All right, this is how we change it. And then number 2, which word can you see? What are the words can you see? We watch the news. All right, TV an hour ago. So how do we change the sentence? An hour ago tells you this action happens in the past, right? An hour ago. So that's why, again, we have to change the verb. We have to add ed. So we watch becomes we watched. We watched the news. Alright, so be careful when you write the news. After the news, what do we add? We watched the news TV? Really? That should be on TV. Alright, on TV. We watched the news on TV an hour ago. Great. So let's have a look on 3. Alright, I'm gonna do one more, rest of it you do it by yourself. Alright, the words given are I studied for the test last night. Right, so how do we change this sentence? Which word here tells you we have to use past tense? Oh yes, according to our lesson, you have learned about past tense last time, right? Last lesson. All right, last few lessons. All right. So if the verb ends with Y, consonant and Y, we change the Y to IED, right? So I study becomes I studied. Why do we use past tense here? I was saying why? Because of last night. Alright, I studied for the test last night. Simple as that. So please write the sentences. I think you are done writing, right? Remember, we have to change the verb. Watch out if that is a sentence. Watch out if that is a negative sentence. All right? So your time starts now for 5 and 4. Do it by yourself. Number 4. All right, number 4 in front of you is Bob, not travel, Italy, and last summer, right? So here, which word tells you you have to use past tense? That should be last summer, right? But here, remember, all right, look, here it has not, right? So do we have to change the verb in the past when we talk about something did not happen? No. All right, instead we add something. What do we add before not? Did, right? Did not can be like didn't, right? Did not becomes didn't, and then no change to the verb. We don't add ed, ied, or ing, nothing. All right, Bob didn't travel, Italy, last summer. Okay, and then 5. All right, according to your book, there's a question mark in the end. It tells you we have to ask a question in the past. So whenever we ask a question in the past, let's say regarding to the past, how would you ask? Also, we use did, right? Did, and then subject they, and then the verb. Do we change the verb? Do we add IED, cross out the Y? Not really, we don't, okay? Did they tidy their house? Let me add it here, okay. Never mind, yesterday. Yesterday. Did they tidy their house yesterday? Normal sentence, subject, verb, object, right? But in a question, we put did first, and then the subject, and then the verb, okay? And then the object. If you remember, we have learned that, right? Great. So we are done with this part. Moving on to part 4. It's all about you. You have to answer all the question about yourself. Number 1, how was your weekend? What is weekend? Everybody, what is the meaning of weekend here? Weekend means Saturday and Sunday. All right, Saturday and Sunday is the meaning of weekend. All right, so how was your weekend? You may say it was, or you can say, let's say my weekend. All right, you can write my weekend was. All right, you can use any adjective to talk about how was your weekend. You can say my weekend was very bad. You can say my weekend was amazing. You can say my weekend was very good. My weekend was very sad. All right, so I would say amazing because I love weekends. So I would say amazing. So what's your answer? You write it by yourself. Amazing. Number 2, 3, and 4. All right, let's do number 2 then. 3 and 4, you do it by yourself. Okay. 2. Did you watch TV yesterday? If you have, let's say if you did, how do you answer? yes, I did, right? If you didn't, you would say no, I didn't. That's your answer. 3 and 4, do it by yourself, then we will discuss it together. Alright everybody, let's have a look on question 3 and 4. A part of just like writing. Please say it as well. Please say it as well. 3. Where did you travel on holiday last summer? So that's your answer, right? You can say I travel. Remember, past tense, alright? L-E-D, double L, because consonant, vowel, consonant, right? We double the L and E-D. And then I travel to, for example, Japan. I travel to Japan last summer. And then 4. Did you play all day? So this one is basically asking you about, yes, did you play all day? If you did, you would say yes, I did. If you didn't, you would say no, I didn't. Simple as that. Check your answers. If you are done, then let's move on. Project 5. Write about your holidays last summer. Start like this. Last summer, I traveled one day, space. We looked at space. It was great. So let's do it. Project number 5. Alright, project number 5. So turn to photo file section and turn to, alright, page 75. That should be page 75 at your book. Photo file session, yes, it's here. That should be unit 4. Let me show you the original picture of photo file session. Unit 4. Unit 4 is the unit we are learning now, right? What happened to you? Right, so this is the session. All right, now let's read together. We are going to do the first paragraph together. Rest of it, you do it. Last summer, I space to Snowdonia. Travel becomes, how do we change travel here? So this, we are talking about, let's say we are talking about last summer, right? So that's why we have to use past tense. Travel becomes travel. Double the last consonant and add ed here because it is CVC word. Okay, that's why we double the last consonant. Every day alright, play becomes played. Here is a little revision of past tense. So remember, we don't change the Y to IED because here is a vowel. It's a vowel sound, A-E-I-O-U. A is the vowel sound, right? And Y is a consonant, alright, letter Y, right? If it is a consonant, or if this word is a consonant, just like steady, you can change the Y to IED, but here is vowel and letter Y, alright? So we don't have to change anything. Instead, we add ED. Alright. Last summer, I traveled to Snowdonia. Every day I played in the what? What place is it? There's a logo that tells you that it is a park, right? Park. With my friend Bill. One day we space can't. Collect becomes collected, right? Nothing special, no special rule. So we just add ed for past tense. Keep reading. There was an old jar next to what object is it? The picture is, it's a picture of a tree that is spelled as T-R-E-E. Tree. We space the jar and there was a map. Open. Alright, so you have a question in mind. Open, right? Open. The correct answer is just add ed. It is a consonant, vowel, consonant word, right? But this verb, the CVC, alright, the consonant, vowel, consonant, alright, the sound of here has no stress. It's pronounced as open, not open, not open, right? Here is travel. There is a stress, that's why we double the L. Alright, but here is no stress. Open, just open. It jumps, right? Jumps the sound, no stress. So that's why we just add ed. Alright. Alright. The next few, the second paragraph you do it by yourself. Alright. Your time starts now. Take your time and do it. Alright, let's start. We space at the map. Look becomes looked. Ed, the verb at ed is enough, no special rules. There was a space cross on it. What color is it? Black. That spell is B-L-A-C-K. We space there, and guess what? We walked there, right? We walked there. No special rules, so we just add ed. There was a fantastic shop with delicious. What can you see in the picture? Cakes. C-A-K-E-S. And sweets. We spaced there all day. It was great. We stayed. So please check your answers for this whole page. If you are done, then let's move on to our workbook part. Actually, here is a progress test where you have to do it by yourself actually, but it's fine. Let's do it. So vocabulary, actually progress test, alright, actually is a test because next lesson will be your test. So you are supposed to do it by yourself, but alright, let's do it. I'm not going to tell you the answer that quick. Of course, you have to do it by yourself, but I can give you some hints. How are you going to do it? So the first part in front of you is vocabulary. So remember, for this part, you can't look at your pupil book or your workbook for the answers. You have to do it by yourself because it's a progress test. All right. So at the top of the page, please write down your name, class, and date. So please write down your name. It's actually here. You just have to write it here. Alright, name, class, and date. Yeah. Just write it. And then after you are done writing, let's start with our progress test. So A, vocabulary. Write the words. So here are some blanks. You have to fill them in with the spelling, all right, of the words. You see, let's say you see other pictures, all right? So what does first picture show you? That has letter I and K. Write it down. 2. What do you see? It's a picture of TV, but inside of the TV there's something that kids love to watch. That has letters C, O, and N. And then 3. Alright, how do you know the answer of 3? You have to look at how does she look. And then 4. The airplane. Alright, what do we call that action when the airplane is going down? 5. What is the boy doing? Just write the spelling. 6. It's one of the TV program. What do we call this? So write it by yourself. I'm going to give you some time, and then we are just going to check it. For this part, if you got it wrong, please correct yourself while we are checking the answers. All right, so take your time and fill them in. Your time starts now. Number 1. All right, the action in number 1 is cake. Yes, how do we spell? That is K-I-C-K. Correct yourself if you are wrong. 2. Cartoon, right? I've given you some hints, right? Kids love to watch this. Cartoon, C-A-R-T-O-O-N. 3. How does the girl look in 3? Dirty. That is spelled as D-I-R-T-Y. 4. All right, the airplane land, right? It land on it. It lands on the floor. That's called land. L-A-N-D. 5. The action is study. S-T-U-D-Y. 6. This TV program is called Quiz Show. So that should be Q-U-I-Z-S-H-O-W. Could you got all of them correct? If yes, then it's perfect. It means you have very good knowledge of vocabulary. All right. Great. So let's move on. That is grammar. This part is examining the knowledge of grammar. B. Part B, where were they yesterday? Everybody please underline yesterday here. When we talk about yesterday, what tenses do we use? And please underline were as well. Where were they yesterday? part of grammar, they're also testing you how much you know about the pictures shown here, the name of the places. I can give you some hint on that. Okay. 7. The hint is the envelope that the girl is giving to the postman. Okay. I've given you the biggest hint. 8. The biggest hint is tables and chairs and menu. 9. The biggest hint. Wow, I don't need to give you hint for picture 9. The tent is the biggest hint. And like on the tent, there's the word, the name of the place here, so you can just have a look on yourself. 10. Biggest hint are books and bookshelf. So be careful when do we use was and were. Okay, and then fill them in. Please write the correct sentence. Let's do number 7 together maybe. So for example, one person, Jean. Do we use was or were for Jean? That should be was, right? Because Jean is one person. Where is she? Sorry, where was she yesterday? Jean was at the, as I said, the biggest hint is the postman and the letter. Not the letter, let's say the envelope, same thing. Jean was at the post office, right? The only place we can see envelopes and postmen. Simple as that. 8, 9, 10. Do it by yourself. I'm going to give you some time to do it, and then we're going to check the answers together. Alright, number 8, as I said that the biggest hint is tables and chairs, and the manual, right? So where was George yesterday? George was at the restaurant, right? George was at the restaurant yesterday. Number 9, Rick and Faye. So these are 2 persons, right? So do we write was or were? Of course, were. Where were they? At a place where you can see lots of clowns. Clown shows, that's a circus, right? There is a hint in the picture, writing circus. Remember the spelling is C-I-R-C-U-S, circus. Carl and Sharon. Alright. 2 person, we use were again. A place where you see bookshelf and books. That is library. Library spell is L-I-B-R-A-R-Y. So please check your spellings and answer correct yourself if you got anything wrong. So done. Good. Now let's have a look on page 12. This part hasn't ended yet. It's still examining your grammar skills. Look, read, and underline. Basically, you will see a picture over here, right? It is a picture, let's say it's a picture of a place in the past. You will see post office, you would see some school, you would see some library, a police station, greengrocer, bakers, butchers. So you have to underline the correct one according to the paragraph. For example, number 11, let's read. This was heightened 60 years ago. When we talk about 60 years ago, we have to use past tense. There was or were a lot of small shops. There was or there were. Of course, we use were because it says a lot of small shops, right? So that's why we have to use were. keep going. All right. There was or were a butchers. A butcher. When you see it tells you it is singular instead of plural, so that should be was. There was a butcher's, a baker's, and a greengrocer's. There wasn't or weren't a hospital. A hospital. Wasn't or weren't. Wasn't. Singular. Alright. But there was or were a library and a post office. There was a library. A library is one place. That's why we use was. Let's read this whole paragraph again. This was heightened 60 years ago. There were a lot of small shops. There was a butcher's, a baker's, and a greengrocer's. There wasn't a hospital, but there was a library and a post office. So check your answers. D. Alright, part D. It asks you that what did Wendy and Manuel do? Look and write. So what did they do? So this part you do it by yourself. I think you know how to do it. You just have to change a little bit of the verbs here. Okay, do it by yourself. Alright, D was what did Wendy and Manuel do, right? The word did tells you that what tenses we have to use. Past tense. So, they space on the beach. They played. At ed, as I said, vowel and letter Y. Okay? That's why we add ed. Don't change it to IED. 16. They space shells. Collect becomes collected. They space at the cafe for 2 hours. They stayed. Stay becomes stayed. The last part, communication. All right. So please fill these 3 let's say bubbles, not bubbles, these 3 dialogues into 18, 19, and 20. The dialogues are what about you? The second dialogue is I was a noisy baby. The last dialogue is what were you like? Right? So please fill them in. And we are going to check it later. So do it by yourself. Time starts now. Number 18, alright, number 18 for you is space when you were a baby. What about you when you were a baby? I was a noisy baby when you were a baby, or what were you like when you were a baby? Yes, that should be what were you like when you were a baby? Yep. Number 19 in front of you is I was a cute baby. That should be what about you? Oh, I was a noisy baby. I was a noisy baby. So please check your answers for your progress test. I hope you did very well on it. Please go home and do revision on the words, on the grammar structures we have learned from these units. Alright, so I'm going to see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. See you. Goodbye.